Communication Workers of America, Alliance for American Manufacturing, BioGreen Clean, and the iSafe team bring you this production Monday through Friday. Thanks for the video view, the download, like us on Facebook. All right. Do we bring in Syrian refugees to America? What are we talking about? Is there a possibility that there could be a terrorist or an ISIS member that could slip through the cracks? The truth? Probably not. But this is now the new front and the new assault on immigration and defending the country by the conservatives. And it's very interesting, soft language that's being used by the Speaker of the House. This is what Paul Ryan is saying. This is his position on this. We need to take a pause in this program. Here it is.
It's important that we have a refugee system in place. We respect that. But we think it's simply prudent that for this particular program, in this particular situation, that we be better guarded against any possible infiltration of ISIS coming through this program. That is why we think it's necessary to have a pause and to have a more comprehensive strategy dealing with guaranteeing that we do not allow ISIS members coming here.
He goes on to say that we need to be safe than sorry. Well, you can connect that to gun violence in this country. Background checks. Say that to the families that have lost loved ones due to gun violence in this country. And how many background checks, if we had it in this country, how many lives would that save? But, of course, that's another issue. But the soft language that's being used, that we're going to have a pause in this refugee program, I don't believe that for a moment. I think they want to eliminate it. I think if they could round up every Muslim and shove them the hell out of the country, that's exactly what the Republicans would do. The Syrian Muslim Refugee Cleansing is what it should be called, because that's exactly what the Republicans want. The president called them out on it.
These are the same folks oftentimes who suggest that they're so tough that just talking to Putin or staring down ISIL or using some additional rhetoric somehow is going to solve the problems out there. But apparently they're scared of widows and orphans coming into the United States of America as part of our tradition of compassion. Now, first they were worried about the press being too tough on them during debates. Now they're worried about 3-year-old orphans. That doesn't sound very tough to me.
Take a look at this picture. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about refugee camps that are already in place. These are people who are fleeing terrorism. These are people who are fleeing ISIS. These are women and children. And the Republicans are saying, well, you know what? We got to have a pause to this program. They're even going to go so far to connect it to the defense authorization budget and draft language to stop the Syrian refugee program. It takes 18 to 24 months for any of them to get into the country. For more on this, let's turn to Gregory Meeks, Democrat from New York. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, good to have you with us.
Good to be with you.
Your thoughts on what's unfolding on this issue in Congress?
Well, clearly, I think that individuals who are talking about not allowing the refugee process to continue are taking us back to a day that, and part of American history that we should have learned from. When you talk about trying to make sure that the most vulnerable of individuals who were victimized by the same kind of evil that ISIS is doing in Syria and other places, and those individuals, we should be after careful vetting, and we have the most vigorous vetting system that there is, leading the world and showing that we are not going to exclude people because of their religion, as Mr. Cruz have said, or because of where they're from, Syria. That's not who we should be, and that's not what we should do. You know, I'm reminded of the Japanese in this country in a history. Out of fear, people went around and put American citizens who were Japanese in concentration camps for a while. We don't want to do that. We should not. We should be better than what we were, and I think that we are. And I compliment the president for standing and continuing to do what he's doing to try to make sure that we stop ISIL, but also, as we tell others to take in some of the Syrian refugees, so should we.
What message does this send to ISIS? Does this give them propaganda ammunition to make their case that America is evil? and that we want to separate. I mean, that's basically where they're going.
Absolutely. It is the absolutely wrong message to send, and it helps ISIS recruit, because ISIS says, hey, see what we tell you? The American people, they don't want you. The American people are not tolerant individuals. Come with us. They're evil individuals. They are separatist individuals. So the message that some of these presidential candidates are sending out is very helpful to ISIS. It helps them recruit. It helps them to get individuals who already feel disaffected and who have not been, as in the case of some in Europe, who have not been part of that culture and society in the way, or integrated into it. It is exactly the wrong message that we want to send.
So, Congressman, does this play into the defense authorization bill, or is there troubled waters ahead on this?
Well, I think that, and I'm.
What are they
hoping,
going to do, basically?
You know, I think that the president is going to continue to move, and I think that as information, I've got to hope that as information gets through to members of Congress, we had which I can't talk about completely, but we had a classified meeting that was basically, the room was packed with Democrats and Republicans, all of the individuals from the various enforcement agencies, whether it's from the Defense Department or the Department of State or the FBI, the Homeland Security, to get the facts out to individuals so that they understand really what the deal is. And hopefully that people then will not play politics, because that's my concern. Yeah. I know that's clearly what these presidential candidates, they're trying to play politics in a scenario that is too serious.
Do you get a sense that the Republican-controlled House is rushing to a vote on this?
Well, I think that I do get that sense that there's some that want to rush to a vote to try to halt this process, and that would be exactly the wrong thing. But I also get the sense and know that any such bill would be vetoed by the president and would not be overridden.
Okay.
So I'm confident of that.
Gregory Meeks, Congressman from New York. Good to have you with us on Ed Schultz News and Commentary. Thanks so much.
Always good to be with you, Ed.
You bet. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee and has had a security briefing on all of this. So both sides of the story coming out.